meantime, let's also talk about what has now been said on Iran's side, because the Gulf nations continue to be attacked on those countries as well, which Iran had referred to as brotherly nations. We are talking about Saudi Arabia here. What has now been said that the Iranian missile has hit Saudi industrial area on camera. As far as these footages now are concerned, we'll be playing them out. And there has been a ballistic missile that seems to have hit the Jubail area. And let's get you pictures that are now coming in from Baghdad in Iraq. As far as US bases are concerned, they have come under repeated strikes of Iran. And this seems to be a fresh attack that has now been reported on a US base. This is a drone attack, what has now been said. As far as in Erbil, the information that has now been coming in, and also of a US base in Baghdad, where explosions that have been reported at the US logistics base in Baghdad that has now been targeted. Let's connect with Rishabh on this. Rishabh, more and more pictures that have been coming in, particularly of those areas in Gulf. Iran has been unrelenting in its attacks.
Well, definitely. See, Jubail in Saudi Arabia, Erbil in Baghdad, or for that matter in Kuwait, also Al Qasim. The way US infrastructures have come under attack, especially their military bases, is something that showcases that Iran is not ready to back down. Yesterday, a makeshift camp of US at Buwayan Island in Kuwait was also attacked. This was the new base that was temporarily created because the main base had already been attacked by Iran. That temporary shift, makeshift base was also attacked by Iran. Now the news is coming in that Jubail has been attacked. Remember, Jubail is an industrial area in Saudi Arabia. There are many US companies that are present there. There are many US companies that deal with oil supply are present there. That has been attacked. Now what we're given to understand in Erbil, one of the bases of US in Baghdad, that has been near Baghdad for that matter, has been attacked. Their embassies have come under attack. Their IT firms have come under attack. Anything US in West Asia is under the radar of Iran is what Iran suggests, and they have shown that as well in last 39 days, the way they have attacked each and every possible target that seems to be US hotels, IT firms, US bases, air bases, aircrafts, warships, everything that is under the under the radar or under the range of the ballistic missile have come under attack. Things like Diego Garcia, which is not even in their range of missile. Missiles were fired at Diego Garcia in Arabian Sea as well, and that sent a shockwave to US and especially Europe as well, that Iran might try and expand this war in the region if the situation is not under control. Now, we are talking about a Tuesday 8 p.m. ET deadline by Donald Trump.
Yes.
What happens after that?
That's what I said exactly. Less than 24 hours to go when we are looking at this deadline set to expire, Indian Standard Time when we are talking about. So Wednesday morning is the day when we look out for as what could be the next possible step that the United States would be taking against Iran. But as far as another Gulf nation is now concerned, and a US airbase has now been reported as of an attack of at least what has now been said that 15 Americans have been injured in this attack. This is the Ali Al Salem airbase in Kuwait that has now come under attack of an Iranian drone, as being said according to reports, and at least 15 Americans were injured in this Iranian drone strike that has been reported at the Ali Al Salem airbase in Kuwait. So Kuwait has also been continuously hammered as far as when it comes to even its oil tankers are also concerned. And now what we are looking at, the airbase, the American airbase have also now come under target. Let's get an update again from, Rishabh on this. So Kuwait, we're looking in Bahrain, we're looking at Saudi Arabia, we're looking at multiple countries all across the Gulf. We're looking at, despite 39 days today, Rishabh, that is being marked of this war, it seems that there is a lot as far as in its weaponry or arsenal is concerned of Iran, that it continues to hit back at such a strength.
Well, see, one thing is very clear, that Iran is getting supported. It could be Russia, it could be China. One of those both of them could be helping Iran with the weaponry. One thing is very clear, that the precision with which Iran is striking the Beidou satellite of China is definitely giving them the coordinates, and that's the reason that these precision strikes are taking place. Ali Al Salem airbase of US in Kuwait has been attacked. This is within 24 hours second attack on a US base in Kuwait. So Bahrain, except Oman for that matter, instead of naming all except Oman, every GCC country has come under attack from Iran. And Iran is very clear that we are not attacking GCC countries. They are brotherly nations. We are only attacking the US infrastructure in the region. And one should not, mistake it with our rivalry with any Gulf country. We do not have rivalry with Gulf country. We only are hitting the US bases in the region.
Absolutely, and that seems to be the very result of what we are getting to know in this latest strike that has now been reported at a Kuwait airbase. 15 US personnel have been reportedly injured in this airbase, as what we are now looking at 15 Americans who seems to have been wounded in this Iranian drone attack, and multiple of these attacks that are now being repeated, because these strikes, Rishabh, are not being carried out for the first time. This seems to be a wave of repeated strikes that seems to be carried out at multiple bases across the Gulf.
Well, definitely, Iran is not sparing anything that they believe is US in the region. And this is something that we have been talking for long, that how the asymmetric warfare of Iran has ensured, Amita, that nothing US stays the way it was before the war. Iran is using this opportunity to ensure that the Gulf countries look beyond US. They, even out of threat from Iran, starts maintaining distance from US. See, Gulf countries, be it Kuwait, be it Saudi Arabia, be it UAE, be it Bahrain or Qatar, they have been monarchies, and the monarchies have been very clear in last 50 years. The petrodollars have been their biggest source of income and their biggest net security guarantee for that matter. The net security guarantee, the myth of net security guarantee, has been decimated by Iran, because Iran has shown to these countries that if you have US bases, if you have presence of US military on your sovereign land, yes, it is not a security guarantee. It is rather a liability, because we will come after them. So, and we are seeing this. Many Gulf countries have now started looking at Europe or Asia, for that matter, as well, for more investment and more partnerships. And that is something that Iran wants to achieve, and use this war to ensure the presence of US is decreased, if not decimated, in the region after this war.
All right, remains to be seen if this war actually comes to an end, because as we talk, the deadline now seems to be, looming large as far as when it comes to what President Trump seems to be hinting, because he says that it will be easy for him. Iran could be wiped out in a night. However, on part of Iran's side, certain proposals that has been kept forth. Remains to be seen how exactly things really do progress, because this seems to be the escalation by every day seems to be going up. Today is the 39th day of this war in West Asia. Heading into a short break.